It's a large exponent.
Okay. Okay, Trevor, what were you going to say?
Like 2x to the third, like second 2 to the third, versus
I got you.
plus 8x is definitely over 5x.
Are we listening to what Trevor just said?
Yep.
Okay, he just said the totally right answer. How do you put a polynomial in standard form?
Largest exponent first.
There you go, largest exponent first. We've learned a lot of standard forms. We've learned standard form for quadratic, standard form for linear, standard form for lots of different stuff. But the general idea behind standard form is that you want your exponents to go from biggest to smallest. So the smallest exponent would be the one that doesn't have an x at all. So I would say 2x to the third, and what kind of 2 is that? Negative. So it would be negative 2x to the third. And then I use that, and then 8x squared. And then 5x. And then my last piece would be the negative 7. Okay, so that's standard form. Now that's not what this question's asking though. What is this question asking? The leading coefficient. Well, what does leading make you think? The first. And what's a coefficient? The big number in front of the variable. So our leading coefficient here is negative 2. Okay, so our answer is actually negative 2. Okay, but you have to do this first to get it.
I like that.
Good. Okay, classify the polynomial by the degree and the number of terms. Well, you might not remember all your degree classifications, but if I were to ask you what type of equation that is, because it has an x squared in it, what would you call it? It is, okay, it's a trinomial because it has 3 terms. Let's write that down. Trinomial because it has 3. So we took care of number of terms. What's that, Trevor? It's not cubic, but you're on, right, cubic would be to the power of 3. This has a power of 2. Quadratic, good. Yeah, we've talked lots about quadratics. Quadratics are anything with a power of 2, where the power of 2 is the highest power. Trevor, if that had been a power of 3, then that would be cubic. So this and this are like 2 separate things. Trinomial is saying it has 3 pieces. It could have 3 pieces and be a cubic, or it could have 3 pieces and be a quadratic, or it could have 3 pieces and be something totally different. Okay, so the 3 pieces doesn't affect this name. Now a quadratic could have any number of pieces. You could have just one, if it was just y equals 5x squared, and that was it, it would still be a quadratic, even if it only had 1 piece. Okay, so this is talking about the number of pieces. And this is talking about the biggest exponent. Okay, 2 different things. Okay, 17. Jeannie has 100 feet of fence to make a rectangular cage. If she uses the wall as one side, the area of the cage is given by this formula. Many of you are going to freak out when you see this, right? Yeah, there's a lot of words here that we don't really care about, right? Because it's giving you this formula where W stands for the width, and then it tells you that the width is 15. So yeah, all I really want to do is negative 2 times 15 squared plus 100 times 15. And I'll take the answer from one of you. Is it 1,050? Am I right? 1,050? Okay, so the area would be 1,050. How do we label area? What kind of units? Square, yep. You were right. Was that a victorious noise?
No, I thought it was wrong.
Oh. Okay. 18. Add. Judy, go for it.
Don't you have to combine like terms?
Yeah, just combine like terms. So what do you get?
7x squared
Okay, so 5x squared and 2x squared are gone.
Plus 2x,
Positive 2x.
negative 2x,
Yep, this is a negative 2x, so that's minus 2x.
plus 5.
Good. Where'd you get 5 from?
The 4 and the 9.
Okay, and that 4 is negative, right?
Yep.
So 9 and negative 4 make 5. Yep, that's it. Now, why didn't she make that like x to the 4th when she added together 5x squared and 2x squared?
You just don't.
You just don't. That's right. Good. Yeah, when you're adding like terms, you don't mess with the exponents at all. You're just saying, this is how many of them I have. Okay? Okay, now 19's a little bit different. Any thoughts about 19?
It's kind of the same, isn't it?
Kind of the same.
Don't we have to add the change sign?
Yeah, really this negative sign is going to make both of these switch signs. Okay, so this is really a negative 7a squared, and then what's that going to become?
You're the positive.
That's now going to become positive 8a, because if you minus a negative, it's going to become positive. So now when I put my like terms together, I have 10a squared and negative 7a squared, which makes what? 3a squared, right? And then negative 6a plus 8a would be positive 2a. Everyone okay with that?
Yep.
Good. Okay. All right, 15. So we did addition, we did subtraction, now we're going to multiply. Okay? When you're multiplying, I want you to jot this down someplace. I know you know this, but when you multiply the exponents, or I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Multiply coefficients add exponents. Because the adding the exponents part goes back to that P-man stuff we were doing on the page before. Okay? So I'm going to multiply the coefficient, which means I'm going to multiply negative 5 times 3, and I get negative 15. And now I'm going to add exponents. What exponent is on this r right here?
A 1.
A 1. So total I have 6 r's. Do you see where that's coming from? So I have r to the first, r to the fifth. So now I have r to the 6th. And then how many s's? 6. I have s to the 4th, s squared. So that's going to give me s to the 6th. Okay? So I multiplied the negative 5 and the 3, and then I added the exponents together. Does that make sense? Okay. 22. Do you remember what to do for something like 22? FOIL. Good. FOIL. And actually, I'm going to show you an alternative to FOIL, too. I don't know how much you did with FOIL, and I don't remember how well you guys did with it. Do you feel good about it?
Yeah, but what I don't. Oh, wow. How do you know, like, the number 20, how do you know the difference between 20 and 22? Like, how do you know
Oh,
what to do?
it's a great question. This is like one piece and one piece. These are both what we call monomials, okay, because it's all one term. There's no addition or subtraction in there, right? This is really the same kind of idea, but it's like having to do the distributive property. It's like, let me show you an example here. Like if I just gave you 3 times x, you would know that that would have to be 3x, right? And that would be like number 20 was, where you just got 2 things and you're just multiplying them together. Or I could give you 3 times x plus 5, and then what would you have to do? Nope, I'm not solving. If I just wanted to do 3 times x plus 5.
Distribute.
Distribute, that's what I was looking for. So this would become 3x plus 15. So you're still multiplying, just you have more than one piece to multiply with. FOIL is really just like the distributive property, but it's over and over again. So I want to multiply the x by the 3x. Okay, doesn't this even look like when we do the distributive property, how we write the little rainbow bars? Okay, Megan, did you say no? Okay. Okay. What is x times 3x? 3x squared, good. Remember, anytime you do x times x, you have to have an x squared. And then outside would be x times negative 8. Remember that that's a negative 8. What would it be? Negative 8x, yep. So that's like I did the distributive property with just the x. If I had just had an x outside there, I'm trying to cover up the 6 there. If I had just had the x outside and then the 3x minus 8, I would distribute. Now I'm, oh, Jordan, question?
Put plus and negative.
Yes, if you wrote plus negative 8, that would be fine. And then I'm going to take, and I'm going to pretend the x isn't there, and I'm going to distribute the 6. So 6 times 3x would be 18x. And 6 times negative 8 is negative 48. And then I can combine like terms. So what do I get when I combine?
Negative 8 and 18. So it'd be
10. Yep, negative 8 and 18 make 10. So 3x squared plus 10x minus 48 would be your final answer. Okay. I want to show you a different way to do this, and I'm not sure if Ms. Nivor taught you this or not. It's sort of another way to organize your work, but it's really going to be helpful when we get down to like this one here, number 23, because on this one, FOIL doesn't technically work. Okay, it's the same process, but you can't call it FOIL.
Is it the box thing?
Yes, did you guys do the box thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No.
And we don't like the box thing?
No.
No, straight.
Okay.
Mommy did that in another.
Yeah.
Never did it for real? Okay. I'll tell you what, let's then just go to 23, and I want to try this one with just the box, because I think that you won't hate it as much as you think that you do. And if you do end up hating it as much as you think you do, I'll show you how to do it without the box also. Okay? So do you see how many pieces do I have in this first set of parentheses? I have a B and a 4. So I have 2, and then how many pieces here? 3. So I need a box that is 2 by 3. Okay, so I'm going to split there into 2, and then I want 3 pieces up on the top. Okay? So I've got 2 pieces here and 3 pieces up here. And so here, for my 2 pieces, I'm going to do B and negative 4. Everyone see where I'm getting B and negative 4 from? Okay. I would guess probably not with like all the exponents and stuff. But yeah, it's the same idea. And then here I would go B squared, 3B, and negative 2. So just make sure if you have any minuses that the minus or the negative sticks with whatever's after it. Oh, come on. It's not any harder than doing it the other way. All right, what's B times B squared? B times B squared? B to the 3rd. Okay. What's B? Guys with me? B times 3B? 3B squared. B times negative 2? Yeah? Negative 4 times B squared would be negative 4B squared. Negative 4 times 3B is negative 12B. And negative 4 times negative 2 is almost 8. Good. Okay, so now when I go to write down my final answer, I just want to make sure I collect all my like terms. So I'm going to start with which one has the highest exponent? B cubed, and I don't have any other cubes, right? So I'm going to start my answer with B cubed. What do I have for squareds? 3 and negative 4. What's that make? Adding. Negative 1. So it would be negative 1B squared. Could you put the 1 if you wanted to?
Yeah.
Yeah. Negative B squared is the same as negative 1B squared, right? Okay. Negative 12B and negative 2B. Again, I'm adding. Negative 12 plus negative 2. Negative 14B. And then plus 8. and that would be your final answer. Okay? Here's the thing. If you were to do that without using the box, it's going to be just as long. Because here's what you would have to do if you didn't use the box. You would have to do b times b squared, b times 3b, b times negative 2. And then you would do negative 4 times b squared, negative 4 times 3b, negative 4 times negative 2. Okay, and that's fine. If you like that way better, that's no problem. But you would still end up writing out all 6 of those pieces at some point. So I just don't want you to think that the box is really that much longer, because you're still writing the same thing.
I think it's
Okay.
because we did like 8 boxes.
Oh, you did those big ones?
Really confusing.
Okay. Yeah, it's up to you. This just helps you make sure, hey guys, when you're multiplying polynomials, you have to make sure everything over here gets multiplied by everything over here. And so the box helps you make sure that you get all of the combination. If you're good at keeping that all organized without using the box, I don't care. Okay, but I just wanted you to see that. Okay, 24. When that says squared on the outside, what does that mean?
Everything's 2 of everything.
Okay, it does not mean that I can just square this and square that. It'd be nice if I could. It means that I'm going to have 2 of that whole thing. So really what I have is 3x minus 4 times 3x minus 4. Why don't you take a second and see if you can multiply that out? And I don't care if you use the box or use FOIL, but give that a shot right now. So that squared means to write 2 of them. Tyler,
I don't know.
number 24. Do you need to come sit up here? Free of distraction? Okay. I think during work time, that's what will make happen. Okay. What do we get? Somebody volunteer their answer. Maddie, go for it.
9x squared minus 16.
Oh, 9x squared minus 16. Do we agree?
It's negative.
Plus 16.
Okay. Somebody else, what'd you get? Megan, what'd you get? Okay, 9x squared plus 16. Okay, so why did you get plus? Where did your plus come from? Good. That is right. Negative 4 times negative 4 does make positive 16. Anybody have something else? So these 2 pieces are right. Anybody have some other piece? You all cheated. Okay? What I said at the very beginning when we started this problem is you can't just square this and square that. Well, 3x squared is 9x squared, and 4 squared is 16.
I multiplied them together. Like, I did two separate.
Okay,
I foiled it.
so Judy, you foiled. What'd you get if you foiled?
Oh, I erased it.
Somebody else who foiled.
Well, I got the negative 12 for the O and the I, so it just cancel each other.
Oh, okay. Let's check that. So maybe some of you canceled things out that weren't supposed to be canceled. So 3x times 3x is 9x squared. 3x times negative 4 is negative 12x.
Oh, never mind.
Negative 4 times 3x is negative 12x. And negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16.
Oh, so 9x plus 24 plus 16.
Almost. What's negative 12x plus negative 12x? No.
Negative 24.
Negative 24. So it should be 9x squared minus 24x plus 16. This should be your final answer. Okay? But you have to watch out for this, guys. This is very important. This right here is the biggest mistake that people make, is they do this, and I can almost guarantee you that's going to show up as one of the options on your exam. Okay? So you have to know that when you write this out twice, it's not enough just to multiply the 3's and the 4's. You have to do all 4 possibilities, and that's what the box helps you with. Okay? Again, I'm not proposing that you always do the box. It's fine if you can do it without it. But you have to make sure that you get those middle terms. Okay? Okay. Try 25. See, now I've got you all freaked out. Now you're going to think that 25 is wrong. Try 25. So again, make sure that for your final answer, you have that down. Tyler, what'd you get as an answer?
Still working on it.
Okay, talk it through with me. What would you multiply first? If you were doing FOIL. Somebody get him started. First I would multiply. Trevor?
You multiply 2x and, sorry, 2x and 2x.
Okay, 2x and 2x, which makes?
Then
4x squared.
Okay, 4x squared. Okay, so 2x times negative 4, Tyler. Take it from there. So what is 2x times negative 4?
-8.
Negative 8x. Then what?
Then 4 times 2x.
Okay, 4 times 2x is positive 8x, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then?
4 times -4. That's -16.
Okay?
So
No.
the 8 wow, so that's
Yes. This time, you have a negative 8 and a positive 8. Do you see how that's different from up here?
Yep.
Okay, here you have negative 8 and positive 8, so those cancel, and this time you will end up with 4x squared minus 16 as your final answer.
you got it.
Okay?